Hey friends, Sean from Draft Therapy here, and on today's review for you, is it getting hazy in here? Fruitasia is a 4.4% hazy IPA with mango, pineapple, and tangerine from Shorts Brewery in Elk Rapids, Michigan. The low ABV revolution has already begun. You know, we got stuff from Bell's, we got stuff from New Holland that's on those lower ABVs. We've got several other smaller breweries than those putting out really great low ABV beers right now. Today I'm taking a look at one of Short's newest offerings on the market. This is Fruitasia. Now for you fun-loving beer drinkers out there, this means more beer with less of a buzz. And I know how beer like that sometimes can fit in specific situations. You don't want them all the time, but for certain things, they're really good. So I'm going to put this one through the paces, but first we're going to take a look at the label, and I'll let you know if this one is worth the pickup. And if you like seeing Michigan beer content like this, consider subscribing to the channel for upcoming reviews and more just upcoming videos in general. So let's take a look at the label here. What we have here is, across the top, it says Shorts Brew. It's Fruitasia. It's this woman with her hair looks like all these different, waves of hair, but all this fruit's kind of chilling out inside of it. We have, I can see tangerine, I can see, it looks like a mango, a pineapple, and on the bottom here it tells us Hazy IPA, Hazy Pale Ale with mango, pineapple, and tangerine, 4.4% alcohol by volume. I believe this is the lowest ABV Shorts beer out there. This says brewed and canned by Shorts Brewing Company in Elk Rapids, Michigan, handmade by people who care. And yeah, actually, now that I think of it, this is one of the few Shorts beers that actually tells you the ABV on the can or on the label. Most of them don't say that. So maybe they've been seeing my videos and I've been kind of griping about it. Maybe, no, probably not. All right, so I'm going to take my IPA glass here and we're going to pour it into this one today. Let's go ahead and crack this open and get a nose on the can. First off, before I start pouring it, this was canned on 5/22/2020. It's like the first weekend of June that I'm recording this, so yeah, it's pretty recent. I didn't even know this was coming out. I went to Holiday Market in Royal Oak and I saw this was on the shelf and I said, Shorts low ABV beer? Sounds like it could be interesting, so let's go ahead and pour this. But before I forget, let's put a nose on the can. So there is a nice kind of dank strain in there, a nice dank aroma that's coming through. It doesn't really smell like fruit, though. It smells really dank, really earthy. I'm not getting a whole lot of fruity smell out of it, but let's go ahead and pour this. It's really pretty hazy coming out of the can. I feel like, for me, I get disappointed sometimes when I read hazy and it's not hazy, or I read low ABV beer, and usually, sometimes low ABV can turn out to be not so great. But yeah, this is really nice and golden yellow, a real nice orangish color. Looks very reminiscent of orange juice, and at 4.4%, that's pretty impressive to me. The head, though, is really foamy. It's really very coarse. A lot of air between the bubbles. It's not very dense. It's not very highly, compacted. This is a 12-ounce can, so of course you're not going to see the full pour. But in this IPA glass, it generally kicks up a whole lot of head. And as you can see here from the overhead, from everything, I mean, at one point I may have had about a finger. This is dissipating really quickly. It looks almost kind of anemic, the head itself. Let's hold it up to the light. Wow, I almost spilled that. It is super hazy. I mean, that is, for, again, 4.4%. Let's hope it tastes pretty good, because at 4.4%, that's pretty hazy. Of course, the ABV doesn't have anything to do with the haze, but that's pretty thick looking. I think this, thinking back to my most recent beer that I thought was going to be really thick and hazy, was Bell's Incessant, which is a double IPA, way thinner than this. This is way hazier than Incessant. So let's go ahead and just stop with the talking. Let's get to the drinking. Cheers. Almost forgot. Nose of the glass here. I had that right up on my mouth. So I am getting more. I'm getting still a whole lot of that. I'm getting like an earthy aroma. I'm getting a lot more. I'm getting a lot more dankness. I am getting this real faint fruit note, but I can't really put my finger on what it is. It has a bit of a bitter aroma, but it has a bit of a sweet aroma too. So now, cheers. So it's surprisingly crisp. a very light flavor, really crisp, a little bready, a little crackery on the finish. On the upfront, it really was like a real big burst of flavor, but it's not super thick. You know, it's a really kind of light mouthfeel and a big burst of flavor. Let's take another drink and I'll see if I can kind of decipher what kind of fruity, kind of bursting flavors I'm getting in this, because it was a very big shock to my tongue with the first drink. It's really strong. It's almost like a sour um fruity flavor. Like sometimes when this doesn't have raspberry in it, you know, it doesn't have that kind of thing, but sometimes when you bite a raspberry sweet, but it has that tartness to it. This is like I'm getting an orange and a citrus quality in here, but it's almost like a sweet than a tart, like right away. And it has a sweetness to it, but it has a bitter kick to it as well. When I sit and I kind of think that when it sits on the back of my tongue, I do pick up on a little bit more of a pineapple juice. It's a bit of a tart kind of pineapple, but I'm also getting a citrus, like a orangey, juicy orangey kind of flavor in there. So I am getting the pineapple in there. I'm getting a bit of an orange. I'm not really, maybe I'm picking up on a bit of a mango flavor, but don't go into this thinking that you're going to get like a double IPA that's like, 7% or 8%, a double New England style IPA that's, hazy like that, and you're going to get a lot of those bursting fruit flavors. It does have the fruit in there. It has a nice fruit flavor. The thing that I can think of that I can closely compare to this is the Stone Hazy IPA that I reviewed a few months back that I can't think of the name of. I'm looking around to see if I have a can or like an old can of it sitting around. What I'll do is I will put in the video here, I'll put the name of it. It's a Stone IPA though, it's their Hazy IPA. This has a lot of hazy quality to it. Obviously the color, the appearance of it, the aroma. I'm really happy that the aroma, I was getting that earthy kind of, I was almost say like a garlicky kind of aroma, and sometimes when I get that I can taste it in the beer. I don't taste it in the beer here. It does have a really nice fruit flavor to it, a really juicy bursting flavor. Again, all these low ABV beers have their place. Like if you're out in the heat, you're not going to want to drink a bunch of stouts, probably. I mean, stouts have their place, but and maybe IPAs are a little bit too heavy. This one I feel like it's almost like a lager. Like I could sit and drink it for a few beers and not get tired of it. So it has that going for it. So it's very similar in that respect. And I could see it being maybe if you generally drink lagers in the real big heat of the summer, maybe pick up a Shorts Fruitasia, because I think you're going to get those hazy IPA kind of vibes out of it, but you're not going to have the hazy brain from trying too many of them. I think it's a pretty solid offering from Shorts here. And I'm not always super crazy about low ABV IPAs, but I think this one pulls it off, I think, with those really juicy flavors in there. And as it's sitting here, I'm getting a little bit more of a sweetness. Also, a lot more flavors coming through, so I'm getting a little bit more of the sweetness, but I'm also getting a little bit more of that tartness. So instead of maybe getting hoppy, bitterness, you're getting more of a fruit bitterness, and I think that Fruitasia could be one, to reach for in the really nice hot summer months. I think it probably might edge out a few other Michigan low ABV beers. I'm talking like Lighthearted. I'm talking the New Holland, Light Point. I would probably pick Fruitasia over that because it has a little bit different of a characteristic, where those are just kind of like, subdued kind of IPAs. This one doesn't have the characteristics of cardboard water. It's not like a super low flavor beer. It has a lot of flavor, and it really packs a punch behind, that low ABV. So that's what's really surprising about it. Like I said, as it's sitting here now, I'm actually enjoying it a little bit more. And this might be one that I revisit here in the future. All right, friends, that has been Fruitasia from Shorts Brewery in Elk Rapids. Have you had this one? Do you have a favorite low ABV beer? Do you prefer low ABV IPAs? Do you prefer low ABV lagers? Let me know in the comments down below. While you're down there, if you like beer, you might want to subscribe and click that bell, because I'm here talking about beer twice a week. Tuesdays and Thursdays, sometimes I throw out those little bonus beer briefs. And it's all for free for viewers just like you, and you might miss your newest favorite if you're not subscribed and getting those notifications. So until next time, I'm Sean from Draft Therapy. Thanks for stopping by. Remember, drink craft beer, support your local breweries wherever they are, and most importantly, don't forget to treat yourself to a little draft therapy. Thanks for watching. Cheers.